Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 26 of What If Naruto Was Neglected by Everyone. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Was a Badass Genius. And over on Anime King 2, I posted a new episode of What If Naruto Was a God Amongst Man. So go ahead and check that out and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support guys, and also remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last spot we left off, Madara defeated the 4 Kages, as he only had one word for them: disappointing. As Naruto watched a whole ordeal from a distance away, as the samurais then came and took the Kages away, as neither of them were dead, as Madara followed by Naruto's rules. But that means he will be waiting a little bit longer for his battle, his glorious battle with Naruto that will push him to his limits. As Naruto was about to get up, he felt something pulling against his subconscious as he was brought to a dimension. It kind of looked like the sewer in his mindscape where Kurama resided. But this is not it, as he looked around, as he saw an old man standing there. The man told him he was a sage of 6 paths, as Naruto found it impossible to believe at first. As the sage of 6 paths told Naruto that what he is doing, if he continued down this path, it will release his mother. As Naruto was surprised to hear about his mother, as the Sage of 6 Paths told Naruto that if his mother is released on this earth, she will take all chakra from human beings. As Naruto told him that human beings have done nothing good with chakra, so if she wants to take it, she can go ahead, and that is if he fails. And it doesn't look like he will. The Sage of 6 Paths called him Naruto Namikaze, but Naruto shouted and said, "That's not my name," as he exited that dimension. He shrugged it off like nothing had just happened, as he headed off his merry way. Naruto went to visit Mitorumi, as she cursed at him and told him that he knew that this would happen. But Naruto said that they should actually be praising him. He was the one who told Madara after all to not to kill them. As she asked him what the hell does he want. But Naruto told her when he called for her, she will come. As she scoffed, but Naruto grabbed her by the throat and pushed her against the bed. As he looked deep in her eyes and told her he can simply put her under his control. But he doesn't need to do that. She was the one who has been working with him against the other nations, and if they find out, that will be a really dangerous thing. And also, if she does try to do something else, he will come back here and decimate Kiri. And with that, he headed off. As Naruto then went and visited Menma, as Menma was training along with Sasuke and Liz, as Karin was there as well, as she unlocked her Uzumaki bloodline, the chains. As Naruto then told them that he's heading out, he told Sasuke that soon enough he will give him the eyes, because Naruto has Itachi's body under his possession. Well, his eyes to say. But for right now, Sasuke just still need to train and improve himself. Naruto then went to the Hidden Stone village, as he threatened Oniki and Kurosaki, as he told them they cannot stay neutral in this war, because the time will come when you'll have to decide what you want to do. As he then turned to Kurosaki and told her that she must not waste time because war is upon them. And with that, he vanished. As Kurosaki looked at Oniki, "This is really bad," she said. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. It has been 3 days since Naruto's small encounter with the stone. The sight that Minato found in front of him was rather amusing, and it made him rather angry and ticked off at the same moment, as all of the Kages were currently at a meeting all of them, even Oniki this time, as they all heard what Naruto did by entering the stone village, but it didn't seem that it had any destruction. As Minato watched Oniki as he was talking, Oniki didn't even relish the fact that he didn't want to join at first, but now he was here. But Minato wouldn't just forget that. The man had said he didn't want to be a part of their little idiot group. He will deal with Naruto and the Akatsuki himself. But now, look where he was. As Minato did not like this one bit. Minato turned his head as he was thinking to himself, as he wondered what Naruto's true goal is. He has the power, but he still hasn't done anything to Konoha. And also Mother Uchiha, what is his purpose in all of this? What does all of them want? And not to mention Naruto with that Susanoo. He had witnessed the power of it when Naruto first arrived here, just to show that he's not joking around. What if Naruto unleashed that thing? Or even worse, made clone and unleashed multiple of that things on Konoha? What would Konoha do then? As Minato knew that Naruto has to be sapping a large supply of the Fox Chakra to be able to maintain that colossal Susanoo. Because something like that was not ordinary. Minato was snapped from his thoughts when he heard someone call out to him. As Minato turned to see, it was Mifune. As Mifune motioned to Oniki and said that he was speaking and Minato should listen, Minato scoffed. "Have something to say?" said Oniki. "Yes, I do," said Minato. "You think you can just walk in here and take control of everything that we have done so far? Just because what recently happened to your village, you decided to join back the meeting. Am I wrong?" said Minato. "That is none of your concern," said Oniki. "Damn right it isn't," said Minato as he stood up. "You threw away everything, saying that you will deal with the Akatsuki and Naruto by yourself, but now you're here. And you just skip over everything like nothing happened. Just because of our altercation in the third Great Shinobi War, where all the nations were at war, you threw away the alliance. But now just because of what happened, you want to come back here and think you can take control of all this and that. You think you haven't said nothing what we have tried before? Mother Uchiha came here, the news spread like a wildfire. I am sure that you heard about it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you were one of the first to hear about it, other than all of us that was here. But yet you did nothing. This is a global scale attack. And you have proven that you're all reliable on yourself. Why should any of us trust you? Why should any of us give a damn what you have to say?" said Minato. "If it comes to it, I think you would sell us all out." Hearing that, Mei narrowed her eyes a bit. If they ever knew what she did. Oniki then spoke up. "You have no right to talk here, boy," he said. "Your son is the cause of all of this. Your son is the threat behind everything. If it wasn't for him, none of this would have even happened. The nations would be by themselves. Yes, and at war," said Minato. "I know what Naruto is doing is wrong. It's terrible. It's beyond wrong. But he's not to blame for bringing Madara here. Something I know you know about, but you decide to ignore it, like it wasn't even a priority. You said you can take Naruto on alone, so why are you even here? The altercation between your village and him, that is why you come here now, seeking for aid from our villages and our allies. When you decide to abandon us in the time of need, why should we even give a damn what you say, old man? You should watch your mouth, boy," said Oniki. "And you should shut your, you old senile geezer." "Enough," Mifune said. "We came here for a peaceful conversation. This is no place for hostility. We came here to talk, not to fight. You are not at each other's throats right now. You're here to discuss means from stopping the world from dipping into utter destruction. That is what we're here for. We're not here to argue. We have more common sense than that. So, Hokage, Kishukage, can I have your word? We will talk like rational human beings." Minato sighed as he lost his temper there for a second. "We have to discuss proper means in taking out the threat," he said. At this point, Minato knows that Naruto has become a global threat a long time ago. He was just living in denial. His two daughters and Kushina, they were still in denial, thinking that they can bring him back. But Minato knew that Naruto won't come back to the village. So it doesn't matter now, it's time they take a step forward and stop holding back. Naruto, residence, as we believe, is currently at the hidden zone. That is where we are to strike first, if we are to stop all of this, said Minato. Meanwhile, at the zone village, Naruto walked through the corridor, as Konan has been moved to another room, a much larger room. Naruto had allowed them to remove her restraints and the seals, and Konan didn't try to run or flee. Before he did it though, he told her that this entire place is surrounded by a barrier. He's using the Fox Chakra to keep it sustained, so it's not like anyone can break out if you don't want them to. But Konan didn't argue about this or anything. She just stayed put. It seemed like she really wanted to get revenge on Danzo, and also she wanted to see if she could actually bring peace to this world by trying to accept his ideals. She still didn't like Naruto after what he did, but Nagato has perished. The only thing she can do to try and bring some meaning to her life was to fulfill his final wish, bringing peace to the nation. As Naruto came towards the door, as the guard was standing there, "How is everything going, Rayman?" Naruto said. As Rayman, he's from Kumo, a missing nin, S-rank dangerous. He's called the Storm of Kumo, as Naruto had found him in their 3-year training trip when he and main man Liz were training, as Naruto had gathered a lot of missing nins and gave them a new cause, a new meaning. The sound was going under perfect construction. It still isn't finished yet. The barrier hide outside eyes from views. As the place has really changed, the people of the village were ecstatic. They knew who their leader was. Even though they heard what he did outside of the other nations, they really didn't care. They found someone who protect them and treat them like real people other than Orochimaru, who treat them like total garbage. The place was nothing but a rundown garbage before he arrived, but now there was jobs, there was trading, everything was just wonderful, and all of them were happy for that, and they will not go against the man who made it all possible. Naruto stopped at the door as he was in front of Rayman. "So, Rayman, how has she been?" he said. "Well, she has been quite quiet, but she has been eating," as Rayman had long, white hair. The man was currently in his 30s. He had 2 swords strapped on his back and a kanji for lightning on his shoulder. He was a big build, same complexion as the Raikage. "Sir," Rayman said, "she did ask for you." Naruto raised the eyebrow. "Ask for me?" "Yes. Since you haven't been here for some time now, she did ask where you were." "Well then, let's go see what she wants," Naruto said. As Rayman opened the door and stepped aside, as Naruto stepped inside, as Konan was currently inside, as her room consisted of a bed, she had a dresser, she had a TV, she had a huge bookshelf with a lot of books, she had a bathroom attached to her room, and a small little dining area over to the side. Even though she hasn't socialized with the others yet, Naruto told her that soon enough, she would rid this place and be on the front lines. She didn't say anything when he told her that. Some time ago, as he hadn't been here in some time now, he was dealing with other preparations, as Naruto was going to fight Madara with a big disadvantage. But it has to be done. As Naruto pulled a chair, as Konan was currently lying down on her bed, she didn't even acknowledge that he came inside. She currently had her face stuffed in a book, reading. As Naruto placed a chair extremely close to the bed, as he sat down, she didn't even say anything, as he sat there, not saying a word as well. Konan narrowed her eyes, as she knew that he was watching her, but he's not saying anything. Well, she isn't going to say anything first. It's not like she missed him or anything, she thought to herself. As she waited for him to say a word, but still nothing. As she waited, but still nothing. She then moved the book from her face as she looked at him. "What is it?" she asked. "Nothing really," Naruto said. "I just came here to see how you are doing." "What, am I supposed to miss you or something?" she said. "Not really," Naruto said, "but the guard did told me you were asking for me." "Well, I just wanted to know what was going on out there." "Well," said Naruto, "Madara has defeated the 4 Kages." "What?" she said, looking at Naruto. "By himself?" "Yes, all by himself." "Wait, what do you mean by 4? Who was missing? Oh, it was Oniki. But don't worry, I sort things out with him. What do you mean by that, she said. Well, we just had a little talk. And I tried to convince him that he couldn't stay neutral in this upcoming war. Why are you pushing for a war so badly? Konan asked. All of that will be revealed soon enough, Naruto said. But soon, I'll be fighting Madara. What? As she narrowed her eyes at him. You'll be fighting him? When? She asked. Soon enough. But it doesn't matter, she said. And what do you mean by that? Naruto asked. You have that colossal Susanoo. I don't believe that anyone right now in the elemental nations can touch you. Oh well, I'll be going in with a huge disadvantage. As you know, I have the 9 tails inside of me, which is currently under my control. I keep on taking power from it to replenish my chakra. As that colossal Susanoo, it burns a lot of chakra. It's powerful and all, but it took a great portion of chakra. If it was up to me, I couldn't stay in it for too long. But with the fox inside of me pouring out chakra, I can use it for a very long time. But in the fight with Madara, I won't have the fox. What do you mean? She said. I'll be sealing it in the Gedo statue. But that's gonna kill you, she asked him. Huh? What is it? She said. Well, you sound a bit concerned. She scoffed. Why would I be concerned? If you're dead, I can get out of here, and there wouldn't be anything holding me back. You can get out of here if I'm dead, Naruto said. So, if you want to go so badly, what are you still doing here? You told me that there was a barrier around the place, and that I couldn't get out. Well, you didn't even check, Naruto said. It seems like you're rather comfortable here. Getting breakfast, lunch and dinner, having a place to read, watch television and all that. Who wouldn't be comfortable? She scoffed. Freedom is much better. As Naruto chuckled a bit. What's so funny? She said. Oh, nothing. Don't mind me, he said. Now, back to the fox, she said to him. If the fox is removed, you will die. And what then? If Madara is able to take down 4 Kages by himself, what will he do if he kills you? Well, you see, his ultimate plan is to do the infinite Tsukiyomi, to cast this world in a dream, an illusion. What? Konan said, standing up. But we can't allow him to do that. We? Are you gonna help me fight? Naruto asked. Well, if it means not going into an illusion, yes. Well, I can't allow you to do that. I promise that the battle will be between me and him alone. What? So if you fail, all of us are betting that you won't fail. Because if you do, all of us will be placed in an illusion? When you put it that way, I suppose yes. You gotta be kidding me, she said. You must have a backup plan or something. Backup plan? And why do you think I have any of those? Because if we fail, we will be placed in an illusion. What about your friends? Your family? Friends? Family? All of my friends and family are here. Minma and Liz. And the rest you could say acquaintance. What about you? What do you take me as? Your friend or your acquaintance? Or your boss? She scoffed. You're none of those, she said. You're just someone who has an ideal to not let the world fall under a genjutsu, which I don't want either. Oh, I see, said Naruto. She then narrowed her eyes at him. What about your other family, she said. As Naruto looked at her and didn't say anything. I mean your family at Konoha. We did our research on you before anything. Your sister, Narumi, and your other sister, Mito. And your mother and father, Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki. They have wronged me in my time. When I destroy Konoha, all will be destroyed, Naruto said. She scoffed. Stop lying to yourself, she said to him. And what exactly do you mean by that? Naruto asked. She then got up out of the bed. As she stepped forward, she looked him directly in the face. You're not going to kill your family, she said. Huh. You're the first one to ever question me on something like that. It's because it's true. You're not going to kill them. And how exactly do you know that? Even though they wronged you, they're still your family. As Naruto chuckled, what's so funny, she asked. Do you know what kind of wrong I'm talking about? It doesn't matter, she said. And why doesn't it, Naruto asked. Because she's still your mother and your father. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have been brought into this world. As a smile came on Naruto's face, a cruel, wicked smile. You think, for them allowing me to come into this world is something good. As Naruto got off the chair, the ear then became thick and tense. As Konan found it, as it was creeping against her throat like it was forcing her, making her hard to breathe. They watch and stand aside as I was beaten mercilessly. They didn't care when I was being tortured by the villagers, all to protect this stupid village, all to protect Konoha. They did all of that just to make me suffer. That wretched, disgusting place. You think I would hold myself back? You think I won't meet them pay? Why do you think I won't end them when I get the opportunity? As Konan stepped forward, because you haven't yet. You're clearly in the position to end Konoha right now. By using your Susanoo. You can walk over there and destroy it at any time you please. Even if Minato is a Hokage, the power you wield is something else. You can stamp on Konoha with one leg of your Susanoo, breaking the village into pieces, crushing multiple of people. Or you can simply disguise yourself and get into the village, and unleash your Susanoo inside, ripping everything apart, killing civilians and all over. And in the process, killing your family, she said. So tell me, Naruto Namikaze. Don't call me that, said Naruto. I said, tell me, Naruto Namikaze. Why haven't you? Huh? Name, but she couldn't get to finish a sentence, as Naruto grabbed her by the throat, as he lifted her up into the air. But she didn't resist, she just looked back down at him. As he then removed his hand, as she went down to her knee, coughing a bit. You see, she said looking at him, you have no chance of killing your family. You may kill the people in Konoha, but your family? If you think about it, you were given mistreatment, but not when you were just born. Think about it, who was there for you? Your mother. She was the one that fed you. Your sisters, they were the one that played with you when you were a baby. So think about it, you'll be killing those people. That is a part of your livelihood. By doing that, you will completely erase your humanity. And I know for certain that you're not a demon. All humans have their humanity inside of them. And by killing your own mother and father, especially your mother, can you really take that step? Can you really turn into a monster they really think you are? As Naruto sat back down, he closed his eyes, as there was silence for a couple of seconds, until he snapped them back open, as his Mangita Sharingan was flaring. As she narrowed her eyes at him, you know, you have given me a lot to think about, Naruto said to her. But it doesn't matter. The reason I'm not attacking Konoha right now is not because I'm afraid or anything. It's not because I'm worried that they will be caught in the crossfire. It's because before I do that, I'm going to ascend. I want to show the people of Konoha what they have created. Going back there now as a mere mortal will make them think that you're on my level. Will make them think that they have a chance. I want to rain down on them like a god. I want to show them the power that they have pushed me to achieve. So once I reach that state, I will go back there. But trust me, it's not because of fear. They will get what is coming to them, Naruto said. He then felt it a pull on his subconscious. But Naruto turned himself as he shook his head. I don't want to talk to you, old man, he said. Who are you talking to, she said. No one important, Naruto said. As he then got up and started to walk away. Wait, she said to him. What if you truly die? What will happen then? If you die, Madara will continue with his plan. And this world, no one will be able to stop him. What will happen then? What about Menma and Liz? Tell me, she said. You don't have to worry about that, Naruto said. Just have a little faith in me. Why should I? And how could I? You're going to be facing off against a legendary shinobi. You won't have the fox anymore. Your chakra will not be an unlimited source. As Naruto smiled, "You know, I still have these," he said, as his Rinnegan activated. "You think that just because of that little fox inside of me, that is what made me vulnerable and weak, because it's gonna leave me? Huh, don't worry. I still am a dangerous person," as he started to walk off. As she scoffed, "Really? Referring to yourself as a dangerous person? What about the process? What if you die in the process?" Well, that's something to think about," Naruto said as he left, before she could say anything else. As Raymond shut the door, she lied down on her bed as she looked up in the ceiling. Even though she didn't want to, she have to vote for him to win. Because if he lose, no one could stop Madara right now. Madara Uchiha, the first Hokage, has long passed. And no person, well, or from what she has seen, Naruto was able to defeat Nagato with not that much problem. Because Nagato focused on his Rinnegan too much. And seeing that Naruto possessed the Rinnegan at that time, he was easily able to cancel out Nagato's technique and abilities. But Madara, he's a fighter like Naruto. So she just hoped that he wins. As she picked up her book and went back to reading. Meanwhile with Naruto, he was walking down the hall as Menma came to him. "It's ready," Menma said. As Menma led Naruto to her room. "Where is Liz?" asked Naruto. "She's training with Shigetsu and Jugo. Don't worry, she won't know." Menma then looked at Naruto. What if the worst happens? As Naruto gave him a faint smile. "Trust me, I can handle it. I know that you're strong enough. But what if it doesn't go as planned? What if there's a slip up or a mistake?" "I don't want to lose you," Menma said. "You're my family after all. You've been there since day one. As I thought you were a hard person back then, that would never talk to me because of all you went through. But we became friends. When I lost my mother, I thought all hope was gone. But I still had my friend there. You were always there for me and Liz. Even though she didn't know it back then, you were looking out for her. Just because of me. But now, you have created a good bond with her. And what am I supposed to tell her if it goes for the worst? What am I supposed to do?" Menma said. Naruto placed a hand on Menma's shoulder. He gave Menma a smile. "I told you, I will not die. It doesn't matter what happened. This will happen. I told you the world I'm about to create. The world that I will create for you and Liz. And everyone here. This place will become the empire, above empire. The world will know the sound. So believe me when I say, I will not die." As Menma felt the determination in Naruto's voice, he nodded. "I have always trusted you. So I won't start doubting you now." As Naruto stepped inside the room was at least 10 people with the arts of Fuinjutsu. As they were great in the skill, and they have studied up a lot. And they were here to extract the 9 tails from Naruto and place it in the Gedo statue. But Naruto will have to keep his control. He will have to be awake in the process, seeing that he will need to hold the fox in place with his Sharingan. To leave some of the fox chakra inside of him, he will have to rip it away, so it's gonna be a terrible battle. While he's being drained on the outside, he will have to be fighting with the fox on the inside to leave some of his power. The seal will be broken apart, and the fox will be at his full wrath. Naruto will have to have powerful control to hold it down, so he can leave some of the power behind. Because after this, if he does one mistake or slip up in any way, he will die. Yes, he will. The Senju healing ability Oshirama Senju sells is wonderful for healing. But if he died, there is no bringing him back. But if he's at the brink of death, he could come out alive. Naruto knows that this is risky, but he already set up precautions just in case he doesn't make it. As he had some of his trusted messengers to pass out message to all those who he care about. But Naruto was never one to give up. He will fight with all that he's got. "So, let's begin," he said. Time skip. 3 days later. Liz didn't know what was up when she came back from her training 3 days ago with Shigetsu and Jugo. Menma told her that Naruto was out. He wasn't even here the next day. As Menma sent her out to get something, to gather some supplies, as she was to get them and bring them back to the town. Kunai, shurikens, paper bomb and all that. As it was pretty fast with her shadow clones. But now she was back. And she still haven't seen Naruto. As she was wondering, what the hell is going on? Liz had had enough as she began to search the entire place. As she created clones to scour the place. One of her clones was poof as she get the memory. As Leon, one of Naruto's guards, stopped her from entering. As she went to that site where the clone poofed away. As she saw Leon stand at the door. It was the place where Naruto kept that thing inside there. He told her not to go in there. Leon, what is going on? Where is Naruto? I cannot give you that information. What do you mean you can't give me that information? Where is Naruto? Said Liz. As Menma arrived. Liz, he's okay. You need to settle down. Why should I settle down? Something is clearly up and you guys are not telling me. I haven't seen Naruto in 3 days now. What is going on? As Menma looked at her, she saw a weird look on his face. I bet it have something to do with that. Liz stomped her foot in the ground as the place started to shake. As Menma stomped his foot in the ground as the place quieted down. Liz, don't do this, he said. Liz then extended both of her hands as she fired off a blast of compressed air towards Leon and Menma. I am going in there whether you like it or not, she said. As Leon quickly formed hand sign as he created a rock wall to protect him. As the wind attack slammed against it with great force, but it did not break through. He then looked up as Liz was right in front of him. As she came down that spinning kick, but Leon reached up his hand as he grabbed her leg. Leon wasn't an S-rank criminal for nothing. He fled a long time ago when he stole a very dangerous, forbidden scroll that possessed a technique as Leon always craved power and always craved to fight a strong opponent. And that day, when he met Naruto, the both of them had a glorious battle. And Naruto revealed power to him that he knew he had to respect. And from that day on, he started to follow Naruto. As Liz jumped back, she raised her hand as Menma grabbed it. Enough! As he sighed, if you don't tell me, this is going to continue, said Liz. Fine, Menma said. I wasn't supposed to bring you in here until it was over. But I guess there isn't anything wrong. It isn't like he's dying. What the hell are you talking about, Liz? Come with me. Are you sure about this? Said Leon. Yes, I'm sure. As Leon opened the door, the both of them stepped inside. As Liz's eyes adjusted to the darkness of the room. What the hell is going on? As she saw the giant statue. The eyes were closed, all of them, which made her rather confused. The last time she saw it, 8 of the eyes were open, so why all of them were closed now? Right in front of it was Naruto sitting on his throne, as he had a white card attached to him, running from the statue. Liz noticed his eyes were closed as she rushed up to him. Naruto! Naruto, she cried out, as Naruto slowly opened his eyes. As Naruto spotted Liz and Menma, what did I tell you? He said in a rather strained voice, as Liz could see it on his face. He looked like he was dying, if she must put it blunt. What is going on? You look like you're dying, she said. As Naruto chuckled, but he then coughed. Always one to presume the worst, huh? Don't worry, Liz, I'm not dying. Then what is going on? What is happening to you? Are you feeding the statue or something? Is it draining your life force? It's nothing like that, said Naruto. It's actually bringing me back up to 100%. I'll be fine once the chakra stabilize and replenish my organs and my body to replace the Kyuubi's chakra. What do you mean replace it? I didn't want to tell you unless everything was good. But I see the Kyuubi in the statue. An angry look came on Liz's face. You could have died. I didn't though. I'm not joking, she said. She then turned towards Menma. How could you guys not tell me this? How could you guys Leave me out of this, something so important. What if you had died? What if I never get to see you again? How could you do that? As Minma stepped forward, but she slapped away his hands as she ran off. As Naruto sighed, he figured that this would be something, but he never knew that she would get that mad, but he figured that she would be angry. But this was something that has to be done for the greater good. This was something that needed to be done. Right now the Gedo statue is currently being suppressed. Once he's done here, he will start its transformation. And that will be soon. Very soon indeed. Time skip. A week later, Mother Uchiha was sitting out in the opening as he was at the border of the land of fire and wind. As he was sitting on a tree resting, Obito has been making preparations in case he fall in this upcoming battle. As the mother was giddy, but he was getting angry and annoyed. It has been a long time now and Naruto still hasn't found him. And to his surprise, as he said those words, there was a portal that just teared open in time and space. As Naruto stepped out of the portal, Naruto looked up at Madara. As Naruto threw a scroll towards him as Madara caught it. And what is this? Madara said. But Naruto simply went back into the portal. Madara then opened it up as he smiled. As the smile on his face got very large as it was locations. As he jumped down out of the tree. Meanwhile with Konan, she was fearing the worst. It's been a week and some days and she hadn't heard anything. What if he actually died? She then went up to the door as she beat on the door. "Hello, is anyone out there?" she said. As the slot opened up. Yes, it was Rayman standing there. "What happened?" "What do you mean?" asked Rayman. "Stop acting like an idiot. Tell me what happened. Did he make it?" "I'm sorry, but I cannot give you that information." "And why is that?" "I was told not to say anything." "What exactly do you mean?" said Konan. "I was told that the master will tell you himself." "Wait, does that mean he..." But Rayman didn't say anything else as he locked the slot. As Konan sighed, Naruto did told her that she could walk the place along with one of the guard's supervisions. But she didn't want that as she went back to her book. "I just hope that you're okay," she said. She then shook her head. "What the hell do I care? Oh yeah, if he fails, Mother Uchiha is going to put all of us under a genjutsu. And that is something I would rather not want to happen. I just hope he doesn't die." Meanwhile, it was a large clearing as Madara descended upon the ground as its giant Susanoo landed with a boom. It then faded away as Madara smile was huge on his face. He arrived at the location as he said the place was wonderful for battle. Meanwhile, at Konoha, both Narumi and Mito were standing a distance away from each other. They have been training intensely for the time period, as they have also gotten control over Sage Mode as Jiraiya brought the both of them to Mount Miyaboku, and unlike Jiraiya, they have found a way to get Nature Chakra by using their clones, as the both of them are currently in Sage Mode. In the distance, Minato was watching as his daughters has gotten really strong. The both of them dashed forward as they slammed their fists together. The earth cracked under the weight as Sage Mode gave them incredible strength and speed. Kushina landed beside Minato with a smile on her face as she jumped out of the tree. She looked over to her daughters as she smiled. This would have been a wonderful scene if all of them were here, as Minato understood who she was talking about. "Yes, I agree. But as you know, Kushina, things have gone bad for worse now. We have to treat him like an enemy. If there is a chance, I will not kill him," said Kushina. "Even though he has been through so much, I still believe that there is a part of him that won't actually kill us." "Huh?" said Minato. "We were still his family after all. He might hate us. But I really want to look him dead in the eyes. I want to see if he would really kill me," said Kushina. Why are you talking this way? Said Minato. It's because I still believe in our son. He has done some terrible things. But after what he went through in this village, think about it, could you really blame him? I know what you're saying, Kushina, but we can't think like that. Well, Kushina said, I have a different opinion. As Minato simply sighed, as he watched his daughters turn the training field into nothing but rubble, as both of them had a smile on their faces, as the both of them has been getting stronger, and they will continue getting stronger until they're able to bring him back. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Madara was sitting there. Naruto gave him a location, but he was still not here yet. He then heard it, a tear, as the dimension opened, as Naruto stepped out in his new suit, as Madara smiled, as Naruto was wearing a black, thin layer of armor, and covering that was a white chest piece over it. As he had white gloves on his arms, he had on a black, long pants with white combat boots. As Naruto had his two swords strapped on his back, as he had his hair loose. As Madara noticed something, his eyes were no longer fully red. He was born that way because of the nine tails was sealed inside of him, too much of the chakra. They were now a dull, red color. As Madara found this quite suspicious, he then stepped forward. So this is a place you have picked for us to test our limits. As Naruto stepped forward as well. Yes, it's a good enough place to fight. A good enough place for our dance to continue. For hours. Now we're talking, said Madara. I hope you don't hold back. I hope you go all out. I was about to say the same thing to you, said Naruto. So what do you say? We got the chit chat. You know what I came here for. And I know what you came here for. Madara chuckled. You're truly something else, boy. Let's see if you can push me past the lights. And show me. Your power is greater than even Hoshirama's Senju. Let's see what you're truly capable of. Now, let's dance. But guys, it'll be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in social media platform. But for now, I'm out of here, guys. Peace.